country? It dates back to the French and Indian War. It was built in 1754. Today's supposed to be hotter,
Oh, okay.
but it's humid. We've had a very, very wet summer. This is our Kushnak exhibit. You can't see it from here. Oh, just on the other side of the Palisade, you see that other building on the other side? It's a church.
Yeah.
The front lawn of it is the site of Kushnak. Kushnak was a Plymouth trading post. They didn't know how to survive. And they were starving, so there was a group of fishermen, and this is a man who took a load of fish down to Plymouth to bail them out. And on the way, they passed the Kennebec River. And the pilgrims hit on the idea of selling corn for fur. And in southern New England is much better than Maine. It gets too cold here too quick. And they bring corn up and they trade, and this is what they were after. This is beaver.
Oh.
And it was a rage in England. And it's not, there's a whole process to take this outer fur off.
Is this?
And then felt the underfur, and this post earned enough to pay back the London backers by 6. And this is a sample of the artifacts that were found. And then here they reproduced, like case bottles, items. This is North. Forgot the name. That tobacco pipes. So this is an example of what they were. The French and Indians, that there are settlements being built at the head of the Kennebec periodically for the falls. Unload it. Ordinances, goods, ordinances for.
Oh, okay, so for storage.
There were 20 men.
Okay. So back then, the European, was it the French or the?
It's French and no, it's the English. This is.
Oh, okay, the English. Back then, the English would trade they would trade. Which one for which? They wanted these, right? So, okay. Back then, the English would trade corn for beaver skin. It's pretty soft. And also over here, there's a lot of, what are these called? Yeah, okay. There's a lot of Native American pieces in this glass, and these are what they would have looked like. So these were traded a lot up and down the river. Okay. I see. Okay. A lot of these were European goods that you can see in the glass, and these are what they would have looked like. So the Indians were trading for these, and a lot of the times they were very new for the natives, like this thing where you could put water in, and it was just a lot of new technology for the natives.
With storage overhead. And this end, buildings, but they're stone.
This is the oldest wooden standing garrison in America. Still looks pretty good, but that's because it was refurbished a lot.
And this is the military, that's the store.
And this was the blacksmith shop.
Okay, yeah. That side was the military, that was the store, and this was the blacksmith shop where we were just in.
And the original. This is an idea of the goods that would be traded back, that was being brought up here and would be shipped up to Fort Halifax. And this is they have the riverboats are flat.
Did they ever have to fire the cannons? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should have been here yesterday. We did a 13 cannonade for the 13 original colonies. We fired all the cannons. These are ship's cannon. Ship's cannon. That's a 1-pounder. These are 3-pounders. And as you can see, the way it's built is there are two, it's a double palisade. You have an open picket so you can shoot through it, and then the inner picket is closed. And the area in between is called the killing field. But if you're standing, you have a good view of the river. And it's a very high bluff of land in the 1987 flood, which flooded see those blockhouses that did not come up the side. And that was
Wait, no, you're supposed to like pull this, right? Is that how it works?
no, that's to move, swivel it, to aim it.
Okay, I'll just.
Swivel.
Oh.
Yeah, it's meant to be on ships.
Should I touch it? Oh, okay, okay.
See, and you can aim it.
Okay, I'll just do that.
Okay, if you want, I can get somebody to.
Yeah. All right, 1, 2, 3, and tap.
You're gonna turn the sky what?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, and go. Let's try one more time and go back.
Was that place fine?
Yeah. All right, 1, 2, 3, and go.
Your musket, and these are samples of the muskets in the color.
I'm gonna pick that one up. Should we, okay, ready?
So stand up
This is.
I know more of the other.
Alright. This is what they would have fired in the cannon. It looks like exercise equipment, and there's two sides, so it will twirl in the air.
This all burns, and they splay out. This is to kill people. On this fort, and then when we did the 1983 excavation, archaeological, we found out where everything was situated. Because these were rebuilt in 19.
1, 2, 3.
Yes. They allowed for archaeological excavations so they could put the fort back the way it was. The blockhouses had been built in 1920, but they weren't sure they were built on the original spots.
To be up here then, if you discovered
No,
it?
the ground was here, but this was built up. They dug down into it,
Oh, I see.
into
Okay.
the ground. So when you have oh, there was a lot of newspaper.
Okay. What year did they discover this?
We found the actual pit in 1983.
Okay. In 1983, they were digging and they found this pit where they stored gunpowder, right? Is it gunpowder? Look how deep it is.
And we rebuilt it in 2000.
I bet it's so much cooler down there, temperature-wise.
They rebuilt it in 2006.
16.
Okay, yeah.
16. Oh, that's just.
And this was rebuilt in 2016, so like this roof.
We're cleaning up from yesterday. This is an example of the barracks room. Now, if you had 20 men here, 21 men, they'd be like 7-hour shifts. 7 would be sleeping on a mass bed like this. This would be long. 7 would be on guard duty, and 7 would be like KP or cleaning up around. And it was constantly
Hey.
changing. And that's typical ration. I'm not very good. I hurt myself. I'm not even getting this.
It's gonna start a fire.
I would you hold a piece of charcoal. You get a spot. Get it to go on the char cloth. It would catch, and then you get. It's hard as a rock, and it survives the trip. In fact, that's my claim to fame. I found the garden. This stuff. But most of the plants here are native, the natives introduced to the Europeans. In 16, I were on the Central Kennebec, and it was in operation from 1767 to 1807. This account book is a facsimile of the 1781 to 1788. We have 5 of the original account books. So we know exactly what people were buying and how they were paying for it, and most of it was barter.
Wood?
Oak,
Oh, okay.
billets. These are called stave containers. Everybody calls them barrels, but they are the original shipping containers. And there's 5 sizes: firkin, kilderkin, barrel, hogshead, pipe, and ton. This is a pipe. A ton is double the size, and our U.S. ton is based on it. The ton and the pipe were shipping containers. They would be shaken apart, called shooks, put in the holds of the ship, and when you got to where you were going, they'd load them with a flume system. Because once this sucker is filled, nobody can move it. And when it's the most they wanted it the most because it has less tan in it, so the food doesn't get tainted. When you make
Well,
shingles, you put this on the wood and a lot of farmers were bartering with shingles, and you get the feeling that anybody could make a shingle. It wasn't a high skilled product. So during the winter, when they had downtime, they'd make shingles and use them for barter. It was mainly a barter system. Other settlers, and they'd come down.
I'm still amazed at
What that bateau would have looked like, because in the fall, sink them. And that's
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
There's no right or left. It's you're wearing them and them getting wet and your feet sweating that makes the right and left.
Oh.
It's breaking in and you pierce your shoes.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Mama, that's a different scientific department.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, look here.
The penmanship was so pretty back then.
What's a shilling?
This is really, really easy. Yes. All the account books, it's pounds, shillings, and pence until the last it's sold and becomes a tenement, but it's set up how the Towers would have had it on the side. William and his wife and children lived here, and later his aunt and cousin come, and when his brother Samuel, who is in Boston, his wife dies and his kids grow up, he moves back. It's been burned and then smashed into these cones, and they drip down, and what's in the cones crystallizes, and this is how they got their sugar. And you take the nippers, you cut off a piece, and then in mortar and pestle you grind it, and that's how it's a 1 lump or 2, because it was you got it like this, and you made lumps out of it.
This says to make coffee they use an egg, and it says break it into an egg yolk, white, and shell, and then you mix it all. So I think it does include the shell. That's
You could. This is your bread oven
Bread oven.
or baking oven.
Bread oven.
Yeah. This is the bread oven. There's flowers in there. I think
They're drying.
They ate flowers? Or?
No, they're drying
okay.
to make medicinal herbs.
Oh,
I saw
okay.
some
That makes more
dry
sense.
herb earlier by the garden. How long? do you
Everybody
keep
calls them
coffee?
hourglasses, but they're sand glasses because they came in different time increments. This is the E home, 1785. He was our commander-in-chief.
Oh. George Washington was.
1785.
So that's what we have depicted here, 17 numbers. They were just these, it adds a whole new dimension to whatever game you're playing.
These are some of the games that they played, and the original form of cards had no numbers. It was just the shapes.
It's a good parlor. And again, the chairs are made to look like bamboo, but they're not. They came from 3 different branches of the family. They're listed in the probate inventory. And this is the time, if you look at the dishes in there, the ceramics, they never would be able to, because of course the Chinese perfected.
In this dining room, the chairs are made to look like bamboo, and the carpet is the most expensive thing here.
Because
Because it was imported from England.
In 1750s, the garrison is sold to a land company, Sprague Company, and it becomes a tenement. Eventually, there's 8 apartments in here.
Oh.
And this is a hold-off because they didn't break the apartment, taken from paint samples. Everybody thinks that they were really drab and they were colorful people.
Oh.
It's just that the paint oxidizes through time because of dull. This is William's room, and he would have had
Here?
yeah.
Is something gonna jump out?
Nothing's gonna jump out.
Is it scary?
Yeah. It depends on their level of scary.
Wait, is this supposed to open?
Yeah, open it.
I'm concerned.
It's okay.
Oh, okay, okay. That guy
People
looks
jump.
friendly.
You guys decorated this place for Halloween.
Put the door fastened. There, he rocks back and forth.
That's because of the stand. It's my dog. My dog is an occupational therapist, and she took an animal and her dummy, her pet skeleton. That's why it's painted. Here again. For a tenement, these apartments would have been pretty big. Most of them are 2 to 3 rooms. In this particular tenement, the door would open up. It opens up. There was a mother, a husband, and 3 kids. This is Samuel's room. And again, almost everything in here is original to the family, except for the chairs. That's an octant. Sextant are made to navigate the stars in this open ocean. Was the wife of Lieutenant Samuel Howard, who was Lithgow's second in Fort Halifax. And when he died, his wife and unmarried daughter came and lived here.
This one's the fanciest bed.
2 women were here, and I think their income was mainly from spinning and weaving.
Oh wait, no.
Sorry, gotta come outside again.
Oh wow.
This is a well sweep. You lift this up, the bucket goes into the water.
Where's the well?
It's a lever system. Right
Oh,
there.
there.
It's covered over. So right here, Project Revolution. And
He was here?
this was his staging area. So the airborne, they were all right here with their men. And Burr and interesting side note. I don't know when this comes down, but
1, 2, 3, cheese.
Starting to feel like count.
Pass right here and go.
And that was Old Fort Western.
Oh, hold on. Is the mic on? No, his.
Oh, mine?
Oh, say testing. I think I hear it.
Wait, let me see.
I'll just say testing. I think.
Okay.
Oh, it's way down there.
Wow, how did it go there?
I hear it. Okay.
My favorite part was going in that building and seeing all the cannons.
Oh, one more time.
My favorite part was going in that building and seeing all the cannons.
Okay. That was, I liked learning about the history of this area because this is our first time that we've really been, I liked learning about the history of this fort because this is the first time we've been to New England, and especially since we're coming here on 4th of July weekend, or week, it's great to learn history of this place and how they traded, how they fought, and how they lived.
On to our next stop.
And go.
Our first stop is Old Fort Western. Our next stop is Old Fort Western. Now we are at Old Fort Western.